cool. Let's see what we can do. I'm saying we can have a good time
It's a big one.
over here. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right. You best believe it. I ain't telling you no lies. Nerd Soul on screen. We talking about TV, movies, all that jazz. We're gonna get into the MCU, but right over here, you know him, you love him. He's a cinematic sorcerer, Solar Greye.
Hello, everyone. Hey, how you guys doing out there? What's up, the Deckers that might be here? I'm Solar Greye, the cinematic sorcerer, coming at you with my boy Lil Ill Kid at NERDSoul on YouTube. I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. There's a little button underneath the screen, like right around here somewhere.
A little button.
Yeah, it's a little red button, and most of the time they say, don't push the red button. Push that red button.
Push the red button.
Subscribe to that button. Matter of fact, call up your grandma, call up your little cousin.
She ain't doing nothing.
It won't cost nothing. Just go to
just sitting on the couch.
Push this button. Trust me. I know you're watching your stories, but it's the 21st century. You can pause them, and you can just push that little button. That's what I gotta say. What's up, everybody?
You're just sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
you ain't doing nothing.
It's gonna be a fun one. I've already got my coffee up, and I got my club soda.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? So we ready. Yeah, so shouts to the chat, Clever Little Vixen, Ghost MKC, Tracy Lee. Tracy Lee, we here. We got VV in the house. Let's see who we got. Sir John.
Sir John, protector of the realm.
Hey. All right, so yeah, we got some folks up in here, about ready to roll. We'll get into the finale and the season as a whole. Let's see. I guess I'll start off with this. I'll throw this to the chat and then Solar Greye as well. How did you feel about the finale in general? Do you feel that this is a worthy finale?
I honestly believe that people are complicated.
Okay.
No one is a singular thing.
Mm-hmm.
And with that said, I do my best to be the type of man that if my kids brought home somebody just like me, saying this is who I want to spend the rest of my life with,
okay,
I would be enthusiastic. Okay. But there's a little part of me, an evil troll-like part of me.
An evil little part of you?
It's sticky and dark and kind of warm, not hot enough to score, just warm enough to let you know that it's there and it's supposed to be there. That looked at that season finale, started clapping slowly, going, YouTube's gonna blow up about this, because it's been what, 15 years since The Sopranos ended, and people are still complaining.
Yeah, people still mad about that.
And I looked at that episode and I'm like, well done. One, this is amazing marketing for Ant-Man. Two,
yeah.
Okay, I see what they're doing, all that stuff is, and let's face it, ever since these Marvel shows, it's hot out here in California. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's hot in VA too, y'all. So trust me, it's toasty in them streets.
All these Marvel shows picked up the torch where Netflix left off. It's always been about, what's your prediction? What's your theory? It's Mephisto. Yeah. Mephisto. It's Mephisto all along. Oh, it's Agatha. Maybe it's Mephisto this time. And now they're like, here's an answer, and it don't matter. You're tuning in next year. And
they knew exactly what they were doing.
They did us so dirty. It was like sitting us down to a good meal, right? And letting us know that there was going to be peach cobbler thing. And they gave us the peach cobbler, and it even had a little bit of cayenne pepper in it. You know what I'm saying? But then there was like a Gordon Ramsay level tiramisu behind it with $1,000 bill on top. And they said, see you next season.
Mm.
You know, that's what it was.
Wow. Like it's okay, so we got some folks saying, you know, hey, thank God it wasn't Kang coming
Hey,
from
Tyler.
Tyler Bennett. So thinking about the finale, the first term that comes to mind is cost effective. Extremely cost effective. The finale was literally like 3 sets of people just talking to each other. Now, with that said, this show, as well as the other Marvel shows, do a good job of making sure that we get kind of like the character meet from these people. You know, whether it's WandaVision or Captain America Winter Soldier or Loki.
EA.
EA. So
Okay.
like the you know, the getting down to the meat of the story, the
cool.
characteristics, if you will. But they also know good and well what they were doing. They were like, look, they were like, everybody wants to see Kang. You know what I'm saying? Lovecraft Country was huge. They're interested to see what this dude's going to look like. We're going to build up they built it up to the top. I mean,
not since Game of Thrones have I seen so much. Oh, you see the bad guy, it's going to be awesome. The bad guy is going to be awesome. And I will say, as much as I did my best not to have predictions and just watch the show as it came, I was happy that I was half right. Because my money was on Miss Minutes being the big bad.
Yeah, and we didn't cover last episode 5. And it was almost to the point, because when I saw episode 5, in my mind, I was thinking, I was like, this finale ain't gonna be what we want. Like I was watching episode 5, I was like, it's not gonna be what we want. It's not. I was like, now it might, I don't know if this is gonna work for the MCU or not. This might fan the flames for their TV shows, or it might ice them. Because if people are like, oh, all right, word, you made us all excited about these TV shows, and now we're starting to feel like these TV shows are just commercials for your movies, then it might ice them. But who knows right now? We're not exactly sure. But when I saw episode 5, I was like, we're not going to get the finale we want. I know it. We're not going to get Kang in all his glory, or even a moment where we see Kang suited up. And I'm not against that. What I am against is building somebody up and not really delivering. Now, some would say they delivered. They gave you a finale and it was good. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what we really want. Like you know what I really want. Like you brought me in here and you was like, oh, just sit down. Wait, you get we got the hottest. Oh, just wait. Yo, Kang, TVA, oh man, you just wait. You just sit down. 6 episodes. Episode 6 is gonna blow your mind. Then we get to episode 6, and it kind of blows our mind. But it's really more of, oh, you're setting this up. So we essentially have set up all of the multiverse type of stuff, the multiversal war. We set up all this great stuff, but it's more of that until next time. So I'm not mad at it, but I also know where, like, hey, look, you know.
Oh my God.
You know what the people want.
Ascension. All right. I get what you're saying. Okay. And I'm not completely disagreeing, but what I will say is that you are not putting enough accountability on the audience as a whole.
Okay. All right.
Number one, the audience, as it's been built up, is kind of expecting that this is just advertisements for the next stuff. The whole MCU has been at least a third of every movie is nothing but an advertisement for what's coming out next.
But they get payoffs. Well, I would argue we did not get a payoff in this finale.
See, I would argue against that. But we'll get to
Okay.
that when we talk about the man himself. Um,
Yeah.
but the second part is, and maybe this is the old guy in me coming out, but at the end of the day, this whole media empire is based on comic books. And comic books from the Silver Age to present only gets an ending every 15 or 16 issues of any book. Every single comic is about tune in next time, same bat time, same bat channel, pick up next issue, continued in Avengers number 61. Greg, I mean, it really is. So to expect something different from this is, I'm not going to say foolish, because it really isn't, because we're watching these stories on a medium that we're used to having endings on. But at the end of the day, its roots are based in buy the comic next month, buy the comic next week. So to fake out the inconclusive endings, I mean, the story of Loki and the TVA at that iteration was done.
Yeah.
However, we are dealing with wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, multi-polty versity stuff. I mean, we're one of the things that when we had the scene, the talk that made me go, wait a second. So this guy who's been pulling the strings is just on a train in the snow. Like, we're looking for Willy Wonka. Okay, that's great. And the thing that
I didn't really mind that. I thought that was kind of cool.
I thought it was cool too. I just recognized the trope. You see what I'm saying? But when we got to that point, I'm just sitting up going, okay, I see where that's going. I see what they're doing. They are setting up the universe, but that was the definitive end of the TVA as we knew it, of all those characters as we knew it. Like, Loki's entire character arc was summed up and shown that it was complete when he had a sword to his throat. A flaming sword. That was Loki from the end of Avengers going through the whole arc that brought him up to Endgame in those 6 episodes.
Okay.
And now he's back, and he can now be plugged back in to the MCU movies.
Yeah, in a very different way. So it's like, don't get me wrong, there's things that this finale does that I like. It's just that I know when I was watching it, when I watched episode 5, I was like, yeah, you ain't gonna get what you want. I already know you ain't gonna get what you want. It's like they're gonna take you to Wingstop and order you a salad. That's what you about to get. Now it's gonna be a decent salad. It's gonna be a good salad. But you know what I really want.
It's I wanted some wings. Bring me to a barbecue place and you ain't letting me get ribs? No.
No.
No ribs. No ribs.
No ribs. We will let you have some of their fried okra.
Ribs. No, they gave me a couple of ribs.
They give you some rib sauce drizzled over some of our fried okra. That's it.
I'm a fried okra. I got that little Dixie cup sample from Pavilions.
Oh, not the Dixie cup sample.
But they said, look, if you stick with us, you won't just get the meal you came here for, but you're gonna get a coupon. You're gonna get a coupon to here and Red Lobster. Okay, so let's check that out.
So shouts to Ghost MKC talking about the Kang variant, because we might as well go on and get that out of the way. The Kang situation, the Kang variant, or Kang Prime, or at least the Kang, he's the primest Kang at the time. I mean, he won. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he won and was the guy who had simplified the timeline, got rid of all, because he was like, look, I know y'all think I'm bad, but check it.
Right?
There's some people that's worse than me. At least I had a nice little timeline just chilling, just kicking and minding this business. Y'all don't want the bad me's to come out. Because he was like, hey, at first we was chilling. We were sharing information and knowledge. We were, we were living together and building better futures. So, but everybody wasn't so pure at heart.
Yeah. And the thing that got me on this was that conversation really iterated the scope of the story. Okay. Because we're looking at this and we're going, wow, look at these characters. We are talking about gods. He is literally pitching to gods. Like, this is on another level of relatability. And this is where I see that there was resolution, where the story was actually wrapped up. I do want to give, like, the only thing I'd ever seen Jonathan Majors in before was Lovecraft Country. I know, forgive me. I'm really busy. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Same for me.
Okay. All right. And what I am going to say is, one, when he was introduced, one, Miss Minutes reminded us of us talking about Clement. But second, it used a trope for the big bad that I love, and I wish it were used more.
What, the pronoun game?
No, the pleasant and jovial force of nature.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're like sitting up, hey, he can make it possible. You want your timeline? You want this? You want that? I felt like I was
give you whatever you want.
With Miss Minutes going, the best is yet to come. And then King is like, hey, how you doing?
I love how she came back to what is it, Ravana or whatever, and was like, she was like, well, I had to deal with some stuff.
Yeah.
She was like, this isn't what I asked for. She was like, this is what your ass gonna get. But
this is what you need. Bye.
This what you gonna get.
And but then you finally meet him. And I hope and wish and pray that this attitude from this show is what's moving forward, because we had the super convinced presence, I am inevitable dude in Thanos. Yeah. We had he's wrong but out of line from Nemo. And we had all right, I've been screwing around with you, but from Agatha. And most of the bad guys from all of Marvel has been they've really been assholes who are full of themselves, versus this dude. Like, he's just sitting up kicking and eating an apple like, you're the one that remains. She's still calling me that? I don't like it.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, since he's dead, I don't think the next time we see him, he's going to be too happy. I think the next version of Kang we see is going to be, of course, like our real Kang. Like the one that's not only arrogant or not only like highly powerful and a know-it-all, but essentially untouchable to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, of course, he's been beaten before, but I don't know. It's going to take a lot, but I do like how they kind of flipped the role of the Hulk and Loki in the end of this as well, where it's like, yo, look, y'all know, y'all understand, somebody's coming. And they're like, yo, what you talking about? Yeah. What you mean, who coming?
No, bro. No, this is going to be bad. This is terrible. But yeah, and I like the whole, I've been searching for a long time to replace me on this, and it turns out my replacement comes in twos. You guys, please. I can't go on forever. Yeah. I don't want a grown-up running my chocolate factory. They would come in and do what they want to do, kind of thing. And I'm sitting up, and my girl and I were watching it, and when he made that offer, and you know how you like predict the next line? I'm sitting up there, and I'm just like, yep, that's Wizard. That's Wizard right there. And it was like, you know, well, why would you want to give it to us? Tired. And sure enough, he's like, because I'm tired. I've lived a million lifetimes.
Yeah.
I'm done. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm right there. I'm like, you know, when I saw him in all the robes and jovial attitude, I'm like, dude, I guess it's because I grew up watching a lot of kung fu movies, you know, but when the bad guy is bolstering, you know, he can be beaten. But when he's like, hey, how you doing? Like, help me out here. Dragon Ball Z, the dude who taught Goku to fight, Master Roshi.
Oh, Master Roshi, yeah.
Or my man from Avatar: The Last Airbender, King Boomy. You know,
Or even Boomy, or even from Dragon Ball Super Wiz. I mean,
yeah.
Wiz has mad power. I mean, he's not really mean, but I mean, if he wanted to,
Yeah,
like, he
and
could.
that's the whole thing. It's, you know, I choose to be happy because I've got all this power. So if I'm not going to use the power to be happy, why not?
Yeah.
And I like that. But when he sat up and reminded us what we were looking at with that whole look, guys, we're all villains.
Yeah, that's the part that I really dug, because he was like, all right, now hold on. For y'all want to jump on me. For y'all want to talk about how bad I am, let's run back the hits from all of us.
Yeah.
Killer. Okay. So I don't know what
But
you're so mad about.
but now we can talk about doing these terrible things for good reasons. Like, I've seen where
Yeah.
this goes, and trust me, y'all don't want to meet my brothers.
I don't want to meet. He was like, because look, you can kill me, but if you kill me, it's not gonna be pretty. And I mean, so this
I'll be
ties
back.
back into how serious the Ancient One was about not creating branches and stuff. Because maybe the Ancient One knew. I don't, because who knows what the Ancient One does or does not know, or did or did not know. So you have that, but then you have someone again saying, "Hey, look, these branches ain't all. These branches aren't all. You know, they ain't all what you think they is. You know what I'm saying? You talk about, oh, I want freedom. Oh, freedom is cool.
Freedom ain't freedom. And
till somebody crazy come out.
If you have all this freedom, that also means you're free to fail, right? Like, I get what you're asking for. I'm just trying to show you the scope. Like, I might get what you're asking for more than you do. And if you get what you want, we all lose. And I love that whole thing where it was like, well, you know, he's like, well, that's it. You're just letting this go. Well, here's the thing. You either say yes and you take my job and I can go fishing, or you say no, you kill me. Everything goes wibbly wobbly, hickledy pickledy, and I end up right back here.
He was like, what's going to happen is all this stuff is going to happen, and basically, I'll be back here. One of me will be back here. Like, you know, like, so he's like, he wasn't even tripping on. He was just like, yo, let's see. So,
and it's good not to know something, you know.
Jenna James comes through, says, that's what confused me. Miss Minutes gave Sylvie and Loki an ultimatum where they could get a reality in which they coexist with the Avengers defeated and a throne, but then he told them they could either kill him or run the TVA. I was like, wait, is Miss Minutes working for someone else? And did she try to stop Loki and Sylvie from finding the truth? It was very interesting. So, yeah, you know, that.
No, I mean,
I don't know if I see. Oh, go ahead.
That was a turn back. Like,
yeah,
that was a turn back while you still can. Because once you walk through the door, the offer's off the table.
Okay.
But
yeah, because that's kind of what I saw when they told her no, and she had that kind of look on her face. I was like, okay, I guess that's no more Mr. Nice Guy. But then when the elevator opens, I was like, oh yeah, it is Mr. Nice Guy. And then I was like, okay, so let's see what kind of villain he is. And as it played out, and as the runtime continued, I was like, yeah, I was right. We ain't even gonna get a glimpse, we ain't even gonna get a glimpse of what, Kang is. but I understand you want to hold it for the movies.
Mhm.
Cool. You know what I'm saying? It's
Oh, no,
I
we got
get
a
it.
lot of glimpses. We got that whole a lot of callbacks to the first episode with the
Yeah.
stab you, I'm gonna be over here like, man, you were funny. And it's like, well, about one of those things. Yes, I do. But how do I have it programmed
Yeah.
for everything that you're about to do? It's this is my kind of story where it's like,
Yeah.
well, you're only this powerful because you got these tools. Yeah, but how do I know how to calibrate the tools?
So
And
now
the
we
tool is
got
just a tool.
this.
You got to be afraid of my craftsmanship. You know, it's what I know and what I can do that makes me terrified. When he pulled out the book and it was like, I've seen all this stuff coming. Take a look. Which flashes back to Loki getting processed, getting put in the system of, sign here, verify that this is everything you've ever said.
Yeah. All right. So on to other stuff. Eon 001 says they succeeded. I wonder if Killmonger will get the same treatment. I actually don't blame Sylvie for killing Kang. She spent her life being tormented because of, I guess, because of his decision. She effed up though. I think that this is essentially their back door, similar in a way that DC should have used Flashpoint to fix everything. This is
Mm-hmm.
going to be their back door, not to really fix things, because the MCU has done generally well. The This is going to be their back door to be like, all right, we can put all our toys together now.
Yeah,
We can put
yeah,
all our toys. Now everybody can come and play because we got Fox here. We cool. We on speaking terms with Sony. So now with all these branches, the multiversal war, guess the best of each timeline is going to have to come together. And the best
yeah,
of those people are going to be all those folks in the different movies that you love. And they'll probably back up a dump truck of money to Hugh Jackman to go in and get in shape just one more time before, then they'll do it just so everybody can be happy. There's one more time, and then they'll let him go on, and everybody can enjoy themselves.
yeah.
Might even get some people from Netflix. You never know, because this opens up. Comics is
You,
convoluted. That's the first thing. Comics are convoluted.
you know
So,
what you sound like? You sound like you're pitching Secret Wars.
so I
That
mean, essentially,
I need to get away,
we're
get
either
all
heading
the stories
towards
together, and get my toys
Secret
together.
Wars or some kind of like modified multiversal war.
Yeah,
We've opened up the world so much that technically, if you wanted to, you could have a movie that has an animated segment similar to Spider-Verse because they go into a certain timeline where everybody is like that. Like you could
wow.
do this type of artistic stuff now because with all those timelines and universes, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I
What do you
mean,
want to?
what if they took this into consideration? Like, what if they decided to do something to mix up mediums and genres? Like, what
Mhm.
if they took a whole lot of ideas and hopefully y'all are getting the joke that I'm telling right now because what if just follow me here? What if they're putting things out there to see what the audience will take up? Yeah, yeah, that's it. No,
Yeah.
I'm with that. There's been a lot of rumors. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of talk. I was concerned about how they're going to do this multiversal, um, quantum mania, microverse thing,
Hmm.
and how I'm like, okay, it's obvious that they're using it to tie in to the Fox properties. Okay, we can already see that. Um,
Yeah.
and introducing the multiverses and jumping back and forth. And how can I put it? Kang is the most bizarre Avengers villain that there is because
Okay.
he he is like there are a couple of things about comics in general, but Marvel tends to do this more than DC. They have too many vague catch-alls. Okay.
All
Um,
right. All right.
like, Kang is the character equivalent of the Marvel Cosmic, of the Power Cosmic, which is
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
the universal adapter, you know. So it's like, well, how do we fix this thing that we messed up? Kang. How do we do this? How do we make 10 years of movies when we don't have access to all the characters? Kang.
Yeah, because now you have a situation with Kang where honestly, the way this plays out, once you do the multiverse of madness, now of course that title makes even more sense even now. So that title makes more sense now, even more so than it did after WandaVision. So now you have that. You got, of course, the quantum universe. You're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff that I enjoy as long as it's played well. Hopefully, we see the Avengers not as well oiled as much as like putting out fires because of the multiverse of madness, because of all these timelines. So it's like we're not even really. I mean, we're fighting together, but we're kind of scrambling because not only is stuff going crazy, but then we got Kang on this side. Then we got other villains that's coming into play. We got street level stuff. We got space stuff. We got timelines collapsing on one another. We got old villains we thought was dead. They now knew because they over there. So they actually got a slightly different power. And so I would like to see madness, if you will.
Well, and we got the Fox properties coming back, and that's important.
Yeah.
Not because of the X-Men. No hate on X-Men. Okay, I love the X-Men. I grew up.
X-Men is too much to handle right now, I think.
X-Men is the X-Men. They do what they think. But more to the point, and this is having to do with the property that I have the strangest relationship with, the Fantastic Four. Okay, who was tied up in the buyout. So bringing in Kang, who is a Richards, and then doing this quantum verse thing, and that there's rumors going around that the quantum realm is how the Fantastic Four are going to get their powers, because it's possible that they are in the city as that Citadel, and that's cool. I'm with that. Not so much for the Fantastic Four, but for all the other things that are tied up with them: the Silver Surfer, Galactus, the Strange, the other half of the Celestials, the Inhumans aren't in Hawaii. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the concept of the Fantastic Four, but I'm more down with the challenges of the unknown when it comes to the adventures part. But deep cut. But when it comes to everything surrounding the Fantastic Four that Disney has just gotten their hands on in the past couple of years, now we can integrate that for another 15 years of content. You see what I mean?
Okay.
Because how do you, like, Marvel has always had one huge problem with their universe. Just one. Okay, and this isn't about
just one?
Not one huge problem. And that is their big properties, the one that's become big in the 21st century and the one that was big from day one, always seemed to be in different universes. And that is the Avengers and the X-Men. Because they both do stuff on a galactic scale. X-Men are always saving the world from huge forces. And I don't know about you, but I often wondered when I was growing up reading X-Men comics, well, where's Captain America? Thor would be a big help here.
There's times where it's weird because, all right, so X-Men, the way Marvel in the comics handles X-Men, it's like they in their own world. They do their own.
That's my point. Yeah.
But every now and then they do bring, like, there was moments in the, what is it, Dawn of X or whatever, or Powers of X or whatever, when the I guess the Avengers came to the X-Men for a certain reason, and kind of like Captain America and Storm kind of got into it. There was an issue where I think Reed and Cyclops got into it one time, kind of like a shouting match, not really like fighting, but just being like, no, we're mutants, we're sovereign, we don't listen to you, and you're not my daddy. So,
Yeah.
so
I mean, yeah, my favorite moment like that was in Civil War when the mutants were like, now y'all know how it feels, huh? You know?
So it would be, I would like to see them incorporated, but it's like the mutants are so hard to deal with because of the way even the comics handle them. The comics, like Avengers and X-Men see each other every now and then, but you think they don't, you think they aren't on the same planet.
Yeah, and that's my point. It's like, when you're dealing with those two teams and they're both doing, like, let's face it, every third week with the X-Men is, if we get this wrong, the whole world goes. And every third week, but a different iteration of Threes, the Avengers are like, we got to do this or the world's going to break, And every Tuesday, the Fantastic Four is like, we got to do this or the world's going to break. Well, why aren't we calling in help? Because it's kind of Reed's fault. Am I wrong? Yeah, am I wrong?
Yo, Reed just be like, I don't know, man. Like Reed is, I don't want to say Reed is trash, but Reed is like, he's just not great.
They made it clear that Reed would be trash if not for Sue and Ben.
That's big. And Ben, the guy,
talk about the make, But yeah, because Ben is like, what's the matter with you, man? You've been like this since we were 12. No, remember that time you pooped your pants in like 11th grade? It's just like that, man, except you're doing it with an entire reality. Remember that? And Sue was like, honey, we talked about this. Like, don't pull that science crap with me. I know you.
Is so to roll it back.
Yeah.
To roll it back into your boy's TV show.
Yeah.
We got Loki. Loki's made a full turn. But he's been along with this ride with Sylvie. Sylvie is definitely still alive. So I'm sure we'll see her again in another film, and also season 2. This is the first show that's gotten to season 2.
Yeah, and that goes along the point I wanted to make earlier. Because when I was talking about the audience expectations, there's not been a hint at a season 2 of any other show from Disney Plus. Not talking about season 2 of WandaVision. We're not quite talking about a season 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I would watch.
Yes.
But this was, we getting a season 2 of Loki. The way that we ended this, like, this ain't going, if we were going to make this bleed over into a movie, it would have to be its own mini franchise, like Captain America's franchise.
Yeah, I think because Loki, and I think Zia said this earlier in the chat. I can't remember if it was Zia or someone else. Hopefully I'm quoting you right. But talking about this has so many ramifications on the universe at whole. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense to have a season 2. Stylistically, I would rather a season 2 from Captain America Winter Soldier, but I know that this affects more than those two shows.
Yeah.
Like this, because of what Wanda did, that might affect, but see, that's also on the kind of like supernatural side. This also affects the natural realm as well.
So thing gets wrapped up in Doctor Strange, like that was already put out. All right, we're going to continue with her, but with Loki and Sylvie, who was it? Blurtish is saying you'll definitely see Sylvie again. All right, this is where I can watch TV the way that my mom used to, because the way that they framed it is everything from the end of that episode is all open for contract negotiation.
Okay.
All we saw was Sophie kill He Who Remains, who again,
At
shout out
this
to
time.
Jonathan Majors, because I only saw him as brooding, angry black dude from Lovecraft Country, and this one I'd hang with him. I'd be like, let me buy you a beer. I'm gonna get some ice cream. Let's hang. You want an apple? You seem like an apple kind of guy.
You seem like an apple kind of guy.
But after she stabbed him and he gave her that little wink, we didn't see her again. So it's possible that if she can't come to some sort of contract negotiations, we can cut back when Loki goes to that room again and see that she was killed by one of the infinite number of Kangs.
Yeah.
We
Because
the way
because with time working the way it does, we could come back to her and dude just walks in the door and just like she's gone.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's they made it clear in a sort of narrative sense that she can come back at any time, but they also left that door open for getting rid of her entirely. Personally, I hope she pops up as Enchantress in Love and Thunder. That's what I hope.
That could be cool. That could be cool.
That's what I hope. But now we're getting into predictions of the company, and
yeah.
Ever since I was wrong about Heath Ledger playing the Joker, when the movie came out,
I let it go.
But yeah, now let's talk about the resetting of the timeline.
All right.
Because
now
he gets back and nobody remembers him.
Yeah.
And there's a big old statue, but just one.
Yeah.
And
and it's Kang.
Yeah, and we finally get we get B-15 and Mobius going, what? Aren't you an analyst? And he's like, what? What are you? Oh my God! It changed here, and that particular thing was subtly terrifying because time works different with TVA. It's outside of time and space. It's doing all stuff.
And but also how fast it was done. Because I mean, how fast it was to him. Of course, time works differently. But to him, he's like, okay, I got pushed through the door. I took a couple breaths. I walked into the room, and it's already changed.
And I think it changed when he was in the library. I haven't gone through the thing frame by frame by frame by frame because I'm not another YouTube channel. But just thinking about it from an editor's point of view, when he's running by the bookshelves and it's run black, run black, run black, run black for one more second, and then you come out, I think that was where he went through the chaos gate, as it were. I think that was the point that it branched off from. With
that, I'll jump on to what Zeus was talking about. I think we see Kang in not only Ant-Man 3, but Doctor Strange 2, Deadpool, Secret Wars, Spidey 3, and maybe even Thor 4 and Guardians 3.
Let's not forget Young Avengers.
Yeah, and Young Avengers, maybe. Will they even be up to the tech? Will they be? Don't they got other smaller things to handle? They kind of little. They still a little. You know what I'm saying? They still junior varsity.
How much do you know about Kang from the comics?
I know, but I'm just saying on a live action narrative.
Yeah,
they are a little junior varsity right now.
They are.
Actually, they don't even exist yet.
Remember who formed them in the comic books? Because we got Riri coming and all that stuff, but they're still by Iron Lad. Supposedly Tony Stark as a teenager, but
we'll see. We'll see.
Well, because in the comics that was Kang. That's the whole thing. Marvel has been using Kang as the catch-all for everything. He's the dude that trained Apocalypse back in ancient Egypt. He's the dude that taught Franklin Richards how to use his powers. He's the dude that started the Young Avengers. He's the dude, it's Kang everywhere. Between Kang and Power Cosmic, Marvel with their storytelling has pretty much been able to do anything. you know.
Yeah. Now, with this, all right, tabling that for a second. Back to the Loki show. I wanna get this from the chat. I wanna see where you're at. Where you at, chat? Who is
Okay.
the MVP of this season of Loki? You know, who is the MVP? Because for me, I know this. I know y'all gonna be like, "Oh, come on, man, come on, you ain't right." But I think this is someone who came in with late votes. All right, late votes, but ended up being someone who's my MVP, which is Ruby, aka Hunter
Knew you was
B15 or
gonna
whatever.
go there. I knew you was gonna go there.
Okay,
Um,
now at the beginning she was just your regular drone, but now not only has she been awakened, but now she like, I know we're gonna wake everybody up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
and
I,
I do have to say,
at first it
great
was gonna be
payoff for the
Sylvie.
pen.
At first it was gonna be Sylvie. But I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? To be working there under the radar and still like saving people and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's a higher degree of difficulty for me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna argue that she did not have um a good Zuko turn. She had a real good Zuko turn.
All right.
Um, and brilliant payoff of the pen. Okay, brilliant payoff. You know,
Yeah.
with the you gotta listen to me, and then here comes
And then the
uh
pin and everything.
yeah, here comes Ravona, like, what you doing in my classroom? you know, and that was the most brilliant way to get across the message that they are all variants. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Because
Like,
that's the
you're
other thing.
a variant,
They're
I'm a
like,
variant.
they're like, he was a very. It's like we all variants. Like I even when Ravona was talking to Mobius, and shouts to Tracy Lee said Mobius was the MVP for her. She was like, they were
I'm a
variants. It's like we're all variants, stupid. You can't use that anymore. We're all variants. They did the same thing we done did. They variantized, all right? So
yeah,
since they varianting, then we doing the same variant. All right, so how
yeah.
you gonna blame them for something that you doing?
And they're like, yeah, you'll say anything not to get in trouble. But then it's like, that's the boss. See, the boss is a variant too. And they're like, oh. And then it turned out that Kang himself is a
Yeah,
variant. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, all right, all right.
because we
They're leaning
don't know
to
who
this
the
variant thing.
because this has been so long since the sacred timeline, and who knows what timeline was actually the first timeline anyway. It's not like Kang was there or that version of Kang was there. Who knows? So now we're just going on his word because that's the timeline that he kept.
All right,
So,
let me get
oh, go
back.
ahead.
I can address that one because now
All
we're
right.
in my territory. The sacred timeline is
Uh-huh.
not the original timeline. He made it very clear. There were infinite numbers of timeline. He won and he made the sacred timeline. Now, the thing about a timeline is once you make it, to our perception, it is what has always been. Each of those timelines is a bigger concept of first than last. Because to even say which is the first or which is the second applies time to something that time doesn't apply to.
Okay.
It's like one of the big one of the things I appreciated from Ant-Man is when they're in the quantum verse or when he's small Ant-Man, how does he breathe?
Small Ant Man.
Yeah, when he's in his tiny mode, how does he breathe? Because the air molecules are the same size. His lungs are not. So when you're dealing with the stuff on that, so when you're looking at time, one of the biggest concepts that there are out there. When you're dealing with like you look at stuff like cosmic horror, like H.P. Lovecraft, they deal in
Okay.
deep. Okay, they're looking at like 20,000 years is like an hour to them. That's how deep. But that's all one timeline. That's just one. They're talking about infinite numbers of tens of thousands of years being like a sneeze, you know. But when that war happened, he won and he created one. So to our perception being from those original, that sacred timeline, the only thing that we can perceive is that timeline being all there ever was. You see what I'm saying now?
I got you. I got you.
So
it's sacred because he said so, essentially.
yeah, exactly.
It's sacred because it's mine.
Yeah. Since I'm deciding who's sacred and none of y'all can stop me from deciding what's sacred, you know, it's like your mama telling you something's important.
Yeah, because I said so. Elon 001 said, what if your variant life was crappy? I don't want to go back to being homeless. See, like, you know, but you know what I'm saying? So
that was broached in 0 Hour back in '89 from DC. When they got the timeline, but they brought in Barbara Gordon Batgirl. And when they were talking about replacing the timeline and putting everything back to where it was, she's like, I got friends, I got family, I got memories. I don't want to disappear. And I'm sorry to be that kind of a jerk, but the Barbara that you know got shot by the Joker and is in a wheelchair. Why can't I stay? You know? So yeah, that brings about a lot of different things, because yeah, infinite possibilities. Statistically speaking, a third of those infinite possibilities are going to be terrible, where another third are going to be I, and another third is going to be paradise.
Paradise. And then shouts to Blurted said Ravana was getting on my nerves. Old crooked cop looking the other way self. She cute though. Like
yeah.
Look, even Mobius came back. He like, look, all right, it's all a sham. You don't have to do this no more. Why? She's like, I'm doing it because we've always done it. It's like, yeah, but that's a stupid reason. It's stupid. We don't have to do this anymore.
You know, honestly, like speculation, Mobius would have taken the job. If the offer had been put
I think so. I think so.
Wow. Do I get a jet ski?
Yeah, I think Mobius would have taken the job. I don't think he would have listened to Miss Minutes. I think he would have taken the job and, you know, just make, because he said, you know, you can change TVA and let people know the truth and all that. And, you know, but even Sylvie, I think, knows she kind of screwed up at the end. Like, at the end, I think even she realized, like,
well, when everything started maybe and he just sat there and didn't fight back, she was like, maybe he had some, maybe he, oh man, see, I came here to do a thing.
Was like, let's just think about this for a second. Like, just give it a second.
Yeah.
Like, just give it a second. Let's see how we feel. She was like, nope.
She's like, nah, son, nah. You know, and that was a really good scene because just the performance and the writing of it, because the way that Sophia, what's her name, played it, you could see the conflict on her face. Because even when Loki was like, look, let's talk about it. I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm saying the possibility of us being wrong comes at too high a price. So let's just think about this for a minute. And she's like, wait, I need a justification to stay stuck on stupid and fixed on fucked up. You want the throne, don't you?
Yeah, because it's like, no, I don't want the throne. I'm just saying, he's saying that there's somebody worse than him. All right. And he's kind of okay. Like, I mean, he could be worse.
Seriously. I mean, and if he's telling the truth, he's saying he don't want to do this no more, and he wants us to do it. And if you follow out that line of logic, okay, just follow out the line of logic. It's, we can take his offer, we can do the job, we can kill him later. You know, so let's see what this dude has to say. Let's check out this job thing, because if he's telling the truth, then we keep things from getting worse by us running everything in an honest and democratic manner, and we kill him later. And if he's not telling the truth, then we kill him then.
Yeah, because you could do that because he's like, hey, I'm at the very end of the timeline. I don't know nothing now. And everything, I don't know nothing now.
Yeah, and I'm tired. That's I'm still stuck on it. So few pieces of media ever really show what that means. You know, just when you're
because he was like, yo, I'm just done.
Yeah, just I can't do this anymore. I think
I'm finished. Whatever you want to do, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the only piece of media that ever really tried to address it and only did it all right was The Good Place. It was like, I'm done. Like that's it. I'm out. Like I've done I'm good, you know. And
I can't do nothing else. You got all you gonna get.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man, so
and millions of lifetimes. Can you imagine? Just I've lived millions of lifetimes. I've seen it all. I've done it all. There's nothing new. I'm tired of doing this. Take a crack at it. Why don't you take? You know, here. It's like if you got an uncle that's been trying to fix the same car for 30 years. And just hands you the keys.
Man, it's like, look, let this go. Like, let this go. Let it go. Let it go. Just let the people come on, pick it up, and take it to the junkyard, man. Like, let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
You paying personal property tax on this for no reason. You ain't never gonna fix it.
Just get rid of it. Like, no, you don't get it. If I don't keep this car, somebody's gonna get this car, and they're gonna crack the secret to this engine, and then they're gonna burn down everything. You know.
Now, shouts to Antoine Allen. He comes through. What up? What up? Nice to see you. Says Sylvie was a hurt little girl. He who remains was right. Grow up. And he's right. He was right when he did that. Like when he first did it, I was like, I don't know if he's trying to play her or not. But the more he talked about where he broke down, like, all right, look, this is how the timelines went. All right. And it was all good for a second. But every version of me ain't great.
Oh man. Hey Jenna. Hey Jenna James. Jenna James. You know what? All shout outs right there.
All right.
More things like Eternity, Infinity, The Living Tribunal, Oblivion. We got a fan of Cosmic Marvel out there. Or no. And I just got word through the grapevine yesterday that Christian Bale has been cast as Null, and I think that's going to be
really.
Yeah. Or Null or the God Killer, whoever created the first symbiote.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, they gotta go big because where do you go after Infinity War? And bringing in the Eternals, expanding and yeah, that whole thing of like, where have those forces been? Where has the Stranger been? And you know, everybody that she mentioned, you know, the Living Tribunal, Oblivion, Beyonder, Galactus, Death, Phoenix Force, Lord Chaos, Master Order. You know, the one above all, I think the one above all is going to be, it's funny, my girl last night couldn't remember the title of He Who Remains. And it was like, no, that guy, the one above all, I'm like, whoa, hun, take it back. They were dealing with the one above all.
Yeah, because now that we're thinking about someone who was doing this, he might have been like, all right, cool. This timeline got the Phoenix Force, going to get rid of that. This timeline got Galactus, going to get rid of that. This time, like, I'm keeping the most regular, lame, power-free timeline I can. Yes, Thanos got through, but besides that, there's no Galactus, there's no Living Tribunal, there's no Phoenix Force.
Fantastic Four. Yes, since there's no Fantastic Four, there's no Galactus, no Lord Chaos.
And see, now I didn't know. Yo, Jenna James, thank you for that. I didn't know they casted Gore. So that changes. We gonna get the God Butcher. Now, only thing is, guys, look, the God Butcher is dope. All right. I just hope. I know you can't do everything you did in the comics. I know you can't. And I know you got to be PG-13. I know you do. But the God Butcher is mad dope. And like, He
Like
don't
I said,
play.
I got word that Batman is going to be the God Butcher, and Russell they got to play Zeus.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So that all that stuff coming together, like all that stuff coming together really puts a lot of weight on not only this finale,
Mm-hmm.
um, but also I guess the season two of it all. Which brings me back to my first question. Did you like this finale? Now, on one hand, no, I thought the finale was cost effective and kind of lackluster. But the implications of this finale, you gotta factor that in as well. And from the growth of Loki and Sylvie,
Yeah.
the growth of Mobius, which is now kind of changed or moot, unless when he came back, we're seeing another Mobius that isn't the Mobius that we saw because we don't know what button she pressed on the wrist thingy, so we don't
Right.
know. It's not like she know how to use that thing, so she just pressed whatever. So we don't know if the other Mobius is still around. Ravonna, there's a lot of loose ends in this that make this finale not complete, but interesting in how it plays into the universe as a whole.
Almost like
So,
they are almost like hard cutting the black while listening to Don't Stop Believing in a Restaurant. Huh?
so, and then also to realize that all of this is going on while our regular MCU is happening. Because technically we're back to 2012. So this is going on, say this is, I don't know, 2013 or whatever, or the timeline acts different. So I don't know, it could be 2014 now. But whenever it's going on during our regular, you
Well,
know,
yeah,
MCU,
'cause,
which kind of changes things in that respect as well.
well,
Unless he's
TVA,
able to go back to that moment.
yeah, TVA is outside of time,
Well,
and
yeah.
I'll remember Endgame took place in 2019,
All right, cool.
because of the 5 year gap, you know.
True
So
that.
it's caught up with all of the post Endgame shows that shows that being an Avenger sucks. Uh,
So ZSB Lou says, I'm calling it now. Season 2 will be the Young Avengers. I thought Marvel would make a movie for them, but Kid Loki and the rest are getting older. I think Marvel is going to use them with Loki to get to battle through the multiverse. America Chavez, Kid Loki, Kate Bishop, let's see, what is it? Hulkling, Alligator Loki, Miss Marvel, and whomever else he can recruit, with
I think
Mobius
Miss
acting
Marvel
as a
is
Phil
coming
Coulson of the
later
team.
because isn't Miss Marvel getting her own movie, or did they downgrade it to a show?
I thought she was getting her own show, but maybe not. I thought Miss Marvel was getting a show. I'll have to
Okay,
go through not my DC, my Disney emails again, but I think
yeah,
she's getting a
it's
show.
a big thing. But either way,
Yeah,
um, they're laying a really good foundation, a really good foundation. Or not a good foundation, but they're building on the where to go after the 10 years we got. So I'm appreciative of that. Excuse me.
mm,
But yeah, now did I like this finale? In truth, I I liked it, but I didn't love it.
yeah.
Um, in truth, I thought it could have used another 10 minutes,
Mm,
just
okay.
enough. Expand a couple of other things. I think this is just a modern TV trope now where the real good episode is the penultimate. Um,
Yeah,
and it seems like the finale is just epilogue to
it's
the
kind of like the
rest.
cool down or whatever.
Yeah, it's let's hurry up and wrap up these good ends. We got something else, you know. Um, so that's the thing. I liked it, and honestly, I don't like the 6 episode format of the season.
Me neither.
I think eight
6
episodes.
episodes is too short. I think FX got it right with 10,
Hmm,
or at least
depends
eight.
on the story. Yeah, I think 8 is really good. Like, I think 8 episodes for pulp properties like these comic stuff is the perfect
Mhm.
length.
Yeah, because
I re-
6 is very short. Like
yeah,
you realize around episode 4 that you're like, yeah, 2 hours isn't going to cover what we need to cover. Like
yeah,
like WandaVision kind of wrapped up, sort of, but there was stuff that could have went a little longer, or or if you're gonna do 6 episodes, maybe the finale should be like a double episode where you're tired of getting 7, sort of, maybe something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. An
Um,
extended episode, at least 15 minutes longer for the finale.
yeah, because Captain
Yeah.
America, they put the gas on that one. They're like, all right, so we're gonna speed through the rest of this. like,
We don't know
like,
how people are going to react when they see him in the suit. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You know,
oh man.
give the
But the
monologue.
suit,
All
I
right,
wasn't
cool.
mad at the suit. I thought the suit was cool. I was like, look, I was like, yo, they did the best you could do
It
with
looks good
how it's
and
drawn.
it's a hard color to pull off, you know. Like
Yeah,
from a costume standpoint, when they do wardrobe, it's so rare that they do white in that kind of volume. They normally go for like
yeah,
khaki or an eggshell or something like that, not like white, you know. So um so that's a real thing on that one. So yeah, it's did I like the finale? I liked it. I didn't
okay,
love it. Um,
okay,
I loved episode 4. I loved episode 4.
yeah,
Episode 5 was good. Um, but I loved episode 4.
yeah. I
Um,
think episode 4. I really dug 1, 3, and 4. Those were the ones that I really, really dug. The finale was good, not great. While I was watching it, I was just like, I literally said out loud, and I'm watching it by myself. I was like, "This is so cost effective." I was like, I was like, what? I was like, "This is so." I'm like, "Y'all been sitting in one room for a long time, and then we're
well,
gonna go to
given the
another
effects
scene where they're
budget
gonna
of
sit in a room for a
episode,
long time."
given what they did with episode 5 with with classic Loki,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, that's where the money went. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I like Jonathan Majors in this. Of course, Tom Hiddleston. He's been solid as Loki the whole time. Um, Sylvie comes through. The young lady, I can't remember her name. Sylvie came through. Ruby, I don't know her real name, but Ruby came through. The thing that really worked for this show for me is that all of the actors bought into what it was. I
Mhm.
don't think there was an actor that seemed to be out of place or didn't seem to like really sell it.
Yeah.
But Owen Wilson, man, yo, hey,
I'm
I see you. I
You know
see you.
what? Yeah,
When I
you know
first
what?
saw you were cast, I was like, "Ah," but
He moved both.
hey, he
Again,
did.
I have a career-long passionate ambivalence toward the Wilson brothers. I love Owen as a writer. I love Owen Wilson's writing. As an actor, nah, son. And
Oh
Luke was
man.
all right. Yeah, Luke was all right. But these superhero properties are really, really making me like them. Luke as Morbius, I thought was great. Um, or Owen as Morbius, I thought was great. Probably because he's playing an older character who's kind of settled into himself and not like the young slacker type thing. And Luke in Stargirl is I buy him as a dorky stepdad. I think that's really good. Um, and yeah, Ruby, I'm happy she got more work, and I think that needs
Yeah,
to continue. Um,
definitely.
because and um, I'm split down the middle because I kind of wanted to hear her sing, but I'm glad that she didn't. You know,
Mm. Okay, I
because
get you. I get you.
you know how Hollywood does this thing of this actress can do everything, so she's
Yeah.
gonna right now in this, and I'm
Right
like,
now.
you know, um, honestly, I'm looking forward to more expansion on Ravonna. I really am.
All right. Okay.
Because her character, I think if they were going to do 2 more episodes of the show, which I kind of wish they would,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say padded out, but they could have included more time with Ravonna in more episodes.
Yeah.
But,
Because then we could have seen a little more of her side about being a variant, maybe. And then
yeah,
also a little more of the relationship with Mobius.
yeah, because they're pulling her with the she just drank the Kool-Aid and she's doing the thing. And I saw, and this is what my girl would call an opportunity wasted. I saw a juxtaposition between Ravonna and B15,
Okay.
where at the start of the show, they are both for the cause, 100% for the cause, blah, blah, blah. B15 found out the truth and said, oh, hang on a minute, you know, where Ravonna found out the truth and said, no, no, there's got to be more, and then doubled down,
Yeah.
and she down. So spending more time with those two characters for that kind of exploration of the juxtaposition of that theme would have
And
been
kind of
really
like their
good.
why.
Hmm?
And kind of
Yeah,
like their why.
yeah. Uh, Tyler's been going off about this the whole episode.
Yeah. Ain't
Been
nobody
talking.
think about Tyler, man. Tyler just
Yeah.
be in here just throwing everything at the wall, see what sticks.
Okay, all right. As long as we're being trolled, he ain't Hotep.
Ain't nobody think about Tyler. He be tripping all the time. But with that, I mean, I guess we kind of covered everything. We looking kind of good. We kind of we at least exercised a good amount of deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a good
Uh,
convo going on. Y'all been
now,
in the chat. We've been talking with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
now
Carry
I
it on
had
to the comments if y'all like. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I had a couple of interesting moments with the show this season.
Oh,
Because I like props, I like set dressing and all that stuff.
mhm.
I'm that kind of nerd. And the one prop that I thought I wanted was Kid Loki's crown. I like
Huh.
the E with the Thor wings. But now, no lie, if conventions start up again in 2021, I am cosplaying as the one who remains. I'm like, oh man. Like I
And
almost put on my purple.
it's an easy cosplay to do. You know what I'm saying? Just pull out some some robes.
Yeah, I literally almost put on my purple robe for this show, but
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to be that dude on somebody else's show. um, so yeah, that's go home. But yeah, that's what I gotta say. Overall, though, where would you say this show ranks with the Disney Plus shows?
Hmm. I would put this for me because I
Mm-hmm.
love my action. Y'all know I love my action. Y'all know I love my action, and I love supernatural action as well. But you know I love my action. So
Mm-hmm.
Captain America at the top, Loki in the middle, WandaVision on the bottom.
Okay.
Now Loki's finale probably means more for the MCU in general, but still the show wise, like Loki. Yeah, I had to say Loki in the middle. Yo, I mean, we had your boy Captain America come through, Winter Soldier. We had
Yeah,
come on, man. We had the Baron. Come on, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
We had the Baron
My order is
getting in the
definitely
club.
um
Come
my
on,
order is
man.
definitely Falcon, Loki, Wanda. Because I love me that deep, long, you better go take a class at junior college to understand stuff in the story arc stuff.
Oh
Um,
boy.
and the concepts of deep time, multiverse, physics and magic and technology and all this, that's all me.
Mm,
But but
yeah,
um,
but
I do like my aspirational lawful good characters. And the finale of Captain America and the Falcon, because they changed the name by then, um, that was what I'm talking about. That's why I read comic books. That's why I've always read comic books. Um, Funny story, when my ex-wife was pregnant with our kid, I'm like, this kid's gonna look at me like I'm its hero, regardless of what kind of person I am. I better
okay.
learn how to be one. And that was when I dived headfirst back into comics. I didn't know what I was doing, so I needed that foundation of like, what would Captain America do? How would Martian Manhunter handle this? What would Superman want? So, um, so Sam Wilson, and I gotta say, I forgot Anthony Mackie's portrayal
Yeah.
of Falcon and as Captain America. I'm like, you know what? Yes, 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 yes. And I'm putting aside my tan. I'm putting aside, the political history. I'm like, people need to hear this. This is what we're talking about. We need a good person doing things to stay good. All right, let's do this. So yeah, that's at the top. Although Loki is second, because one of the things that I like about a lot of modern TV is that you have to watch it. If you haven't seen it, you can't put it in the background and know what you're talking about. You have
to like focus on.
Yeah, you have to concentrate on what you're watching. And good storytelling does that. Great storytelling doesn't give you a choice, but good storytelling does it.
Okay,
and
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think Loki did a much better job at being compelling and engaging television than WandaVision did. And don't get me wrong.
All right.
You got to watch WandaVision to know what's going on. But even if you do, you still don't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, because Wanda, my problem with Wanda is that Wanda's a show that got 8 episodes where I think where I'm like, yo, I feel like those first 2 episodes was wasted anyway. Like, I still feel that way. So I'm like, if we could have took those 2 episodes and gave one extra to Captain America and Loki, we might have been all right. But that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? We had y'all for almost an hour and a half, yo. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we had y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all all day. I know y'all got things to do. You know what I'm saying? So before we get out of here, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Of course, Tyler Bennett, Bearborn, Clever Little Vixen, VV, Zeus. Who else came through? Ghost MKC, Eon 001, Sabanur. Jessen King. Jessen King. I'm sorry. Jessen King came through. Cassandra Sellers, big shout out to you. Tracy Lee rolled through. Who was of course, Clever Little Vixen was first, and the homie Jenna James. All y'all, if I missed y'all, it's little names I can't remember all. Can't see them all. But right over here, yo, he's the one behind the curtain, man. You know what I'm saying? The cinematic sorcerer himself. You know what I'm saying? Solar Greye.
Well, thank you for all that. Thank you guys for showing up. You can find me at Back in the Deck on Twitter, on Instagram. You can also, that's at BACKINTHEBECK. You can find me here on YouTube. Just search for Solar Greye or Back in the Deck. We talk about comics, board games, role-playing games, all this other, like, if you were Blurred and you want to talk about Blurred stuff, I don't care what your Blurred stuff is, or if you're LGBTQ or whatever, as long as you're not a middle-class white dude, we got conversations that focus around you, all right? And if you are a middle-class white dude or a middle-class white woman, come on in too and listen. This is what we do. We talk about this stuff, and we get deep. We talk about our perspectives, that kind of thing. We do reviews. We do crafting videos on how to make miniatures and models and paint stuff and all that stuff. And all this is to help out the community and to get more people into it so that this stuff don't die with us. You know what I'm talking about? So, so come on in. Thank you so much for having me again, bro. This is fun. And you know how love hanging with you and the whole fam. No.
Yo, man, we're gonna have to do sooner or later. We'll do something. Get up, cook out all that mess.
Cookouts, make no mistake. I'm gonna be having
some cookouts, and
I will send a portal for you.
See if we can get them Texas boys over. Maybe
well, maybe. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
That's a whole
that's a task.
They be hating on LA every now and then. I see them.
So yeah,
they be hating on LA a little bit. But.
Well, everyone, you know what? This is something that I just realized since we're talking our ways out. But it seems like in order to earn your American status and your SoCal status, you have to hate LA. It's so weird because
man, I enjoy LA.
And all over the world, they're like, "Oh my God, I hate this. Oh man, I hate LA. And I'm just like,
LA's cool.
You must be doing something right. People move here from across the country.
Like, LA is cool. Like, well, I'll say this before we sign on, and shout out to Antoine Allen too. Before I sign on, honestly, like I will say that I'm fortunate to I've had generally good experiences in LA. LA is a city that can drain you emotionally.
Oh yeah, it will eat you a lot.
Depending on the people that you associate with and you surround yourself with. So, but a good thing is that I came to LA when I was a little older, as opposed to coming to LA when I was like 18. So I was already man enough, I guess, or mature enough at the time when I came to LA. So I didn't experience the kind of underbelly of LA that maybe some other people that come that are a little bit younger experience.
And that's
because LA can tear you to shreds. It can. Yeah.
Well, every city can.
But that's no different than any other large market, Chicago, New York, DC, Miami, Houston.
I'm scared to death of Chicago. I thought it was New York I was afraid of. And then I talked to a few other people. I'm like, oh, Chicago, huh? So this ain't like the Blues Brothers. No. But yeah, I just noticed like people from the surrounding cities and counties are just always talking trash to my hometown. I'm like,
Oh, wait, you mean people like in like Riverside or something like that? Or like
San Diego, Orange County, they're just like,
please.
I gotta go to LA.
If Orange County don't get their racist self out of man, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Orange County, man, look, hey, sweep around your own front door.
But, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna steal that.
But Cassandra Sellers said, and then they try to stop you. You know what I'm saying? You talk bad about LA, they try to stop you, they try to take you down. So with that said, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places, hit that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs down if you don't. If you hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna send the alligator Loki after you. All right, he's small, he's compact, but he can bite. All right. He got teeth, don't he? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
exactly. You know what? Yeah, but you might be able to get rid of alligator Loki if you push subscribe before he bites off that hand.
Thank you.
Do what you can. Do what you can. Alligator gonna make
sure you hit that thumbs up, support, share it to your friends, share, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you share, brother, then you ain't got. You won't have to worry about this stuff. Y'all be getting streams all the time. You be like, oh, Snappy done blew up because we shared it. And now we get streams whenever we want them. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you getting, come on. Look, hey, you know the algorithm ain't trying to hold. You know the algorithm doesn't like bald-headed black men, all right? So I'm just saying, you got to help out when you're in.
Or long-haired ones.
They don't like none of them. So, of course, I'm going to leave y'all with P.L. Parker Lewis, Arcatron, from us to you. Thank you for chilling and peace. And a woo for you and a woo, you know what I'm saying? It's for the children, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, we out, y'all. We out.
I'm the man, yes, sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Parker Lewis.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. We still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all get manga.